somewhere you lose your real, soul, which is very scary. So he was a little surprised, and suddenly the actor comes out and the bodyguard says, okay, aja. So there's no one close to him. So when I showed it to my son, I said, is it right? He said, this is never ever seen before on Indian cinema. And it took me almost 142 days to shoot, day and night. I have shot that film for 70 hours at a stretch without even a wink of sleep. Never ever seen on Indian screen, some Bollywood cinema. I said, no, this is not this
What
film.
you want. Yeah.
So there's no expression on the face. You have to be deadpan.
Hey guys, my name is Shravan Shah, and today I'm going to be having a conversation with the super talented Sonu Sood in the house. What is up? How are you doing?
Superb. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Listen, so I watched something.
Yeah.
Okay. And I am mind blown. I don't know, like, what I've witnessed. Okay. So, of course, I'm going to look at you for answers now.
Thank you.
So, I've witnessed the trailer of Fateh.
Ji.
Okay. And love this international film that's coming, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay. When you sat down to make this one, okay, what were the first 3 points that you had in your head that, hey, ye karna hai, aur ye karna hai?
I've been doing movies in all different languages
Yeah.
in so many years.
Yeah.
So always, whenever you are on the sets, you learn a lot from the good things that they do and from the wrong things that they do. All the directors, producers I worked with, they always used to say, Sonu, tu ek din direct zarur karega. Because you're a technical guy, maybe, engineering background. So I always thought that I'll do one someday. But most of our friends or people we travel, they said, why our films don't look the way it should, the way the Hollywood movies look like, why they don't sound like that, why the action is not like that, why we see those not real action, people flying in the air with the cables and all. So I never had any answer to that. The only answer was Fateh. To make a film which is believable, which looks international, which sounds international, and action is something which is out of the box. So I made these 3 bullet points, and I thought that I have to try and make something which is something that I have done so far. The first was how the film has to look, the lighting, everything. So I made all those references point how the film has to look. And there's a DOP, his name is Vincenzo, he's an Italian guy. I shared all the scenes and the look that those scenes will have. So every time the DOP or the light people entered on the sets, they had a small notebook, reference notebook of how the lighting has to be done to make those characters. That's how involved we were. So, yeah. So that is and now if you talk about the sound, yes, I wanted to the thing to sound very different. So we got the best of people. I got Loar Kotler, who's a vocalist with Hans Zimmer. We got a track from made by Hans Zimmer. It's called To the Moon, which is the feel of the film. Then if you come to action, I've done action all my life. And I sat with my son Ayan one day, and all these kids were with him. I said, why do you want to watch Fateh? Why will you watch Fateh? He said, sir, Dad, the action has to be which is never ever seen on Indian screen, some Bollywood cinema. So I said, how are we going to achieve that? Every actor will say, I'll spend 50 crores on an action sequence, 100 crores on an action sequence. There's no limit to it. So he said, an action sequence which has got no cuts. Something like that. So I was very impressed with the thought. I said, yeah, this sounds something like, because they're all into PS4s, all these gaming games, and how the camera travels with the characters. So we got people from Mexico, we got people from South Africa. They trained for almost 2.5 months for that action sequence, how to get it right. We achieved that action sequence, and so when I showed it to my son, I said, is it right? He said, this is never ever seen before on Indian cinema. So yeah, fingers crossed when people watch it, something.
Listen, I want to take you back in time, and there was this recently, I was having this conversation with a friend of mine, and she was like, listen, have you watched this film Arundhati? And I was like, yeah. She like, listen, for years I haven't slept because of Sonu Sood. He was so scary in the film. Have you heard this before?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and how do you feel about that?
When I went to Hyderabad, when the film got released after 3 days, these people got, this film, it's insane. People are gonna go mad, you know, when they watch the films in the theater. You have to come and experience that in the theater. I remember I went to one theater, and when it was a single screen, one of the very popular theaters in Hyderabad. When it came out, so a guy who sits in the projector room, he said, "Sir, I've been playing movies here from past 35 years, and after watching this film, when I go back to my home, I can't stop to pee also, you know, I would get so scared. But this is insane. I'm very proud of that film.
Yeah.
I've worked really hard for that. I remember almost 35 days were taken first when I signed the film, and it took me almost 142 days to shoot day and night. I have shot that film for 70 hours at a stretch without even a wink of sleep. My director, Kori Ramakrishnan, he was phenomenal. And every single individual who worked on the film, from Anushka Shetty to every technician, I think the magic on the set made that film work that big. Yeah.
Also, I want to ask you this, and this is not related to your films. This is related to more the human that you are.
Yeah.
How are you so genuine?
I don't know. It's.
And I'm not saying it because you're sitting in
thank
front of me, but it's my job to interview celebrities, right? Interview actors, and very rarely I come across, talents who are this genuine, and you're not faking it. You're not wearing a mask, and it shows. It shows in the way you talk to people of your caliber, people who are not below the social status. Everybody. How are you so genuine?
I don't know, but this is we are living in a world which is once you get into that makeup groove, you tend to start living in that space. Somewhere you lose your real soul, which is very scary in today's world. When you get that limelight, you get famous, suddenly you will have a lot of people around you. The real friends that you had in your school and college, somewhere they fade away. I always feel that if your school and college friends are still with you, and they talk the same way they used to speak to you in your college and school days, then you're going right. And if they are holding few barriers to speak to you, there's something wrong with you. So I think it's very important to, I think your family plays a big role in that, to keep yourself grounded. Otherwise, we live in a world where it's very easy to lose your real self. And if you are saying that I'm still there, thank you God for that.
No, because see, the reason why I also asked you this is because you have been in the showbiz for the longest time now. And you've seen the good, bad, ugly, all of it, right? And what happens is, with so much chaos around you and so much noise around you, somewhere you feel like, हाँ ठीक है, it's a bargain at the end of the day, right? You give something, you lose something. When was the first time probably you realized that, hey, this is not me, why am I pretending?
I've never pretended actually in my life, I remember people, we have seen stars moving around or celebs moving around with a lot of security guards and all, trying to sometimes create a chaos which is not required on the airports, somewhere to draw that attention. I've been living with them. I've seen that how the bodyguards are trained to make that noise, to make sure their presence is felt in those public areas. Believe you me, if those guards are not there, if the same star walks alone in the shopping mall or wherever, people will come to get those pictures clicked with you. And patiently, if you get those pictures clicked, nothing is going to happen. No one is going to mob you. No one is going to hit you. No one is going to create any problems. But the only thing is the chaos happens when you create that wall around you, and you want people to come close to you, but you have a wall which won't let you come close to you. So I think that's the world we are living in. I'll give you an example. I won't name an actor. One of my friends, I was working out in a gym, and my friend who was waiting out for me to finish my workout, so suddenly he saw this car coming, and suddenly one bodyguard comes out, and he starts pretending, "Arey, pichhe hat jao, ek minute, ruk jao." So my friend saw there's no one on the road. कोई नहीं है रोड पे, तो किसको बोल रहा है? तो माय फ्रेंड वाज लाइक, किसको बोल रहा है? हट जाओ पीछे, कोई नहीं है. So he was a little surprised, and suddenly the actor comes out and the bodyguard says, okay, aja. So there's no one close to him, there's no one looking at it, but this is how people around are here trained. And if you don't act like that. Even I feel sorry for those security people. If they don't act like that, they'll be thrown out next day. So yeah, I feel sometimes we act off camera better than on camera.
Oh my God, Sonu Sood dropping truth bombs and how. But listen, coming back to Fateh again. ठीक है, एक तो is the actor that you have been, right? Is there a typical or is there a very conscious change that you have seen, of let's say Sonu Sood a decade back to Sonu Sood now? What is that one conscious change that you've made rather?
I feel more blessed now. I've connected with the common man last 4.5, 5 years.
Yeah.
I still meet them. I still spend a lot of time with them. A lot of people come to my house, to my office. I got connected with millions of people, whether you talk about in medical field, in education field, giving jobs, corporates, a lot of people, and it's only one motive, that is to help common people whom we don't know. So I think that has been a life-changing experience for me, because I don't think twice. Someone asked me that, how are you able to help so many people? So I said, I don't think twice calling someone I don't know for someone I don't know. So when I call you Travan, यार इसकी बहुत मदद कर रहा है, मैं जानता नहीं हूँ, पर आपके ऑफिस में अगर इसको जॉब मिल जाएगा तो अच्छा हो जाएगा. But I don't know this guy. He'll say, यार जब ये कर रहा है तो मैं क्यों नहीं कर सकता? So this is how the chain of helping others grows. So I think I thank God every single day for making this happen in my life. And otherwise, we were living in a world where we are chasing our dreams, those producers, those directors, those banners, and suddenly when you connect with the common man, you realize this is the real world, man. Everything is...
You're living in a bubble otherwise.
Yeah, it's a bubble. Yes, of course it's a bubble.
Damn. I'm going to also mention one of my favorite projects that you started was Jodha Akbar.
Oh, wow.
Till now I have watched it 15 times. That's how much I love that film. And sir, I mean that character, and I don't know whether you remember this or no, but back then, and I'm talking about 2008-9, and even when I'm talking to right now, there are glimpses, and for 2 minutes I'm like, am I talking to Mr. Bachchan? Like you have glimpses. When I remember back then, Aishwarya Rai had said this in an interview, that Sonu reminds me of, Pa. When there are comparisons like that made, okay, do you also feel like, okay, हाँ यार थोड़ा resemblance तो है Mr. Bachchan से?
I know he's our idol. He's one who has inspired us to get into movies, and we've grown up watching him. And I've worked with him also in Buddha Gadra. He played my father. Abhishek played my brother in Yuva. Aishwarya played my sister in Jodha Akbar. So that's a huge connection, and I don't know. But yes, a lot of people say that there are some angles and mannerism that...
This part especially.
But I mean, he's something I really look up to, that, the kind of achievements that Mr. Bachchan has done inspired all of us to do what we are doing. But if there are few glimpses that people, that remind people of him, so I think I'm fortunate enough to do that.
Back then, did you know that Jodha Akbar will be a cult film?
I thoroughly enjoyed shooting that film. Ashutosh sir was phenomenal, the kind of homework, and the whole vibe on the set was very, very good. So I always believe that if the vibe on the set is good, if people are happy about the whole experience, so the film works. No matter how good the script is now, no matter how big budgeted the whole project is, if the vibe on the set is not ready, if a spot boy on the set, if a lightman on the set is not happy, it'll show in the film. Yeah.
For you, how many days does it take to figure out कि यार ये project नहीं is not going the way we thought it will?
First date का
समझ जाता है
पहले दिन पता चल जाता है. आप नरेशन शुरू होता है, आपको शुरू के 4 से 5 मिनट में पता चल जाता है whether you want to do this film or not.
Okay.
That is one. Sometimes the narration is good and you end up doing that film and you land up on the set and you realize कि boss
vibe is not vibing.
So something is wrong with the thing and all. But yeah, it happens. Yes.
It is.
But yeah, you get that feeling right away.
और ऐसा कितनी बार हुआ है कि यार vibe आई नहीं, but when the film released, it actually was completely opposite to what you saw on the screen.
ऐसे कभी नहीं होता.
क्या बात कर रहे हो? कभी नहीं हुआ है?
There might be chances that you don't believe कि इस level की film hit हो जाएगी, वो hit हो जाती है, but vibe तो पक्का है. Vibe on the set conveys everything.
And especially if you're an energy person, you guess the vibe immediately.
है ना?
How many times does Sonu Sood watch his films? Do you ever rewatch your projects?
Very hardly. A long time back I remember when actors said कि यार मैं अपनी पिक्चरें कई ऐसी फिल्म्स होंगी जो मैंने देखी भी नहीं होंगी. I used to say ऐसा थोड़ा होता है यार अपनी पिक्चर की, but it has happened with me also.
You've not watched?
I haven't seen my films all over. There are many films that मेरे से miss हो गई यार. So नहीं देख पाया. ऐसा होता है, which is very rare. And कई बार ऐसा होता है I mean whatever projects you do. I feel proud. I take the responsibility of being a part of this project.
Yeah.
But कई बार आपको लगता है यार कि यार ठीक है मतलब हो गया कोई बात नहीं. But कई बार आप नहीं देखते फिल्म. Yes, it's true. Yeah.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually play a game with you.
Wow.
It's called the game of firsts. ठीक है. हम आपको आपके firsts पूछेंगे, आपको आंसर देने. ठीक है. The first one is how much was your first paycheck?
3,500.
And this was for?
This was for a small ad that I did in Delhi when I started my career. Yeah.
Oh, and what year was this?
It was some carpet product or something. I was just a model.
Early 2000s?
Yeah, it was in it was in 99.
Wow.
98, 99, yeah.
Nice. What was your first car?
My first car was a Zen, Maruti Zen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it was a second-hand car, yeah.
Nice. Who was the first celebrity you met?
First celeb I met. I think maybe in my modeling days, some models and all at the time, they were famous.
Like famous models?
Yeah.
Which was the first concert you attended?
Actually, if you ask me, I haven't been to any concert.
You've never been to a concert?
No.
What was your first pet?
A dog, yes. Yeah.
Which one was it?
I remember as a kid, I had one, was a Doberman at that time and an Alsatian also. Yeah.
Ah, nice. Okay. What is your first audition?
First audition was in Delhi for an ad, and I got rejected outright.
And did we feel bad? Of course, we felt
No,
hurt.
I didn't feel bad. I said, "चलो शुरुआत हुई है, अभी at least बुलाया तो सही."
Yeah, makes sense. And the last one, what is the first country you visited?
Thailand.
Oh.
And
nice.
now I'm the brand ambassador of Thailand.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Cute only. We've come a long way. The last one coming your way. If I met the 10-year-old Sonu Sood and I told him that by 2024, the entire country is going to literally worship you for your everything that you do. You're going to make a film, you're going to direct it, and it's going to have some international people on it. It's going to have international standard to it. Would you believe me?
The second one I would.
You'd believe the second one?
Yeah, second one.
Okay.
The first one I won't. But I'll give you a tight hug for that. Yeah, thank you so much for making this happen in your thoughts also. But yes, direction definitely I would believe.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. So मतलब बचपन से करना था ये.
मुझे पता था कि जब भी करूँगा बढ़िया वाला करूँगा. कोशिश
वो
जरूर
दिख
करूँगा.
रहा है. वो दिख रहा है इसके साथ. So I know for a fact that with Fateh, I don't know what the fate of the film is going to be, but I know for a fact that you've put your purest sense in it, and when people put that kind of energy in a film, it shows. And there's a lot of hard work that you've put, and it shows. So all the very best for Fateh.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for being so genuine, Sonu. In the world that we live in, it's very rare to find people like you. So continue, doing what you do, because we love you for what you have been doing for us.
Cheers. Thank you so much, brother.
Hoping to see you super soon. Till then, this one is a wrap.